Cunningham told USA Today he broke his silence on he broke his silence on he broke his silence on recruiting LeBron, you know, and I don't think, man, the people ain't gonna be honest about LeBron. You ain't gonna get no transparency about LeBron James. So, you know, what people really feel about LeBron, the media cover it up and shit, and you know, they just cover it up. But let's see exactly what he said. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. So it says, you know, Cade Cunningham says he did not bother calling LeBron to try to recruit him to the Pistons squad. I don't think he would have cared to hear what I had to say about it. He's doing what he wants to do at this point. I'm not mad at that. It is what it is. So good for him. So the thing about social media and the thing about this era, which I like that it's made people more conscious of what they say, is that you're not going to get transparency or honesty when it comes to LeBron. Most players don't want to play with LeBron. That's just what it is. Most players don't want to play with LeBron James. You know, he's just, as great as he is, if you're not a 3-and-D type of guy, or you're not a big that's willing to be a stretch five, it's not going to work. You're not going to be happy playing with somebody that has to have the ball 100% of the time. You know, and for Cade Cunningham, it wouldn't have been a great fit for him. Just in Philly, I don't feel like it's going to be a great fit in Philly. You know, you got, 4 guys in the starting lineup, well, I'm going to say 3 that need the ball in their hands. So I really at this point are 3 other guys, especially whose team it is, it's Tyrese Maxey's team at this point. Are they all going to take a step back for LeBron? I mean, at 40-some years old, if you're doing that, you already lost. You already lost. And then you say, okay, if we going to low manage Joel, the problem becomes with game manager Joel is that Joel and VJ Escom ain't really even got a chance to play right now. You see what I'm saying? They really are just, they really just start really fucking with Joel like that. Then you throw in the dynamic that Jaylen Brown and LeBron got this silent beef ever since he said that about Bronny James, which I don't understand how a motherfucker gonna get mad for telling the truth. Especially it wasn't in a malicious or nasty way. But then again, this is parenting in 2026. Then you gotta understand there, Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown, as of 2 or 3 weeks ago, they still haven't spoke, so they still got a chemistry issue right then and there. So you got 3 motherfuckers who got a problem with each other on that team. Brown got a problem with LeBron, and Brown got a problem with Joel, right? And you'll be like, man, they all men. They should be able. This ain't 1995, G. These niggas hold vendettas. It was a rumor that LeBron had shut down Jaylen Brown party out west in LA, but I'm not here that was allegedly, right? So I said it's a lot of issues that people just overlook and think it's like baseball. I can just throw 20 people out there, whatever people, in baseball, and we can be good. And this is a level of camaraderie that you need in baseball. You know what I'm saying? Even when you start talking about individual sports like golf and tennis, you got to have camaraderie with your coach. You got to have camaraderie with, you got to galvanize with your caddy and shit like that. So I said people don't really look at it. They just look at it as, it's the 4 motherfuckers out there. They should be. It don't work that way. That's why the greatest team don't always have the greatest players. That's why Golden State is considered one of the greatest teams, because they had great players on that team, but nobody needed the basketball. Steph didn't need the ball. Clay didn't need the ball. Draymond didn't really need the ball. He facilitated. And KD didn't need the ball. The ball didn't ever have to stick and nobody hit. And that's why it was so beautiful. That's why it was so beautiful that the ball didn't have to stick. Hold on. It didn't have to stick and nobody hit. You know what I'm saying? Like the ball constantly moving. If it needed somebody to dribble the ball, they could. So when you come here, when you get this Cade team, I'm not about to concede it to LeBron James. And it's going to be interesting. Let's just say they all get along, right? They all get along like the Justice League or the Avengers. They all get the fuck along. Is Tyrese Maxey really going to want to take a step back? Even if they then bring LeBron and Jaylen in, it's Tyrese Maxey's team. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I didn't think Cade was gonna concede shit to LeBron, nor should he. It didn't make no sense to bring him on the team. You got LeBron and Cade. I'm not saying that he is great as LeBron, but he can do everything: dribble, pass, shoot. He needs somebody that's gonna score. If you had to say he needed Tyrese Maxey, he needed Jaylen Brown next to him. He needs somebody that's going to be a scoring killer or a two-way player like Jaylen Brown and Kawhi. That's what he needed. He needed a Maxey next to him, which we could have got Maxey, but we took some other niggas. I think it was Isaiah Stewart, but we niggas love Stu in the D. Beef Stu in the D. So yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, man, like people look at basketball and just think you can just throw people together and it don't work that way. When you look at some of those Bulls teams, they didn't have the greatest individual players at every position. Michael was the greatest, and Scotty was amongst one of the great. But they had a lot of guys that filled their role, whether it was Paxson or Kerr, knowing their role was to give an effort defensively and knock down open shots. Whether it was Longley to be a strong body in there and bang a little bit, or whether it was Horace Grant was to rebound and do the little things and hit a little jumper here and there. Whether it was Rodman, the ultimate team player at that point that did all the dirty work. You can't have 5 stars on the team like this and you win a championship, because it has to work together. It has to work it's simple as a bicycle. How the chain pulls, the wheels go, the handlebar, how it all works in unison. That's how a team. You can't have 4 handlebars and 10 chains and 17 wheels, or you know what I'm saying? Like everything has to work as a unit, and camaraderie has to work, and that's a team. Now, can you do that with these 4 guys? Yes, but who's going to check their ego at the door? That's what made some of the Pistons teams so great, which the Lakers teams might have been more talented on paper. The Pistons teams, you know what I'm saying? They go on a work team, they play better as a unit. It was a great team. So people just think you could throw all these superstars on it and don't work together. Check it. Who checking their ego? Who doing no dirty work? Who changing their game? And for me, that's why Bosh was like the unsung MVP in Miami. He sacrificed his whole fucking career for championships. And, he without him doing that, Miami don't even sniff a ring. You know what I'm saying? So, but in general, he wasn't needing in Detroit. Not at all. He wasn't going to do shit but fuck up what the fuck we had. At this point, we need scoring. And if you can score you can defend at a high level. That's why they wanted to go Kawhi. They put a ban on Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown, he had a 91 rating on 2K. I don't even fuck with 2K. He had a 91 rating, had the same as LeBron. How can a dude who should have been MVP last year? I be telling y'all, man, if you really want to know what's about to happen, bro, with this Philly thing, man, I ain't gonna say nothing, dog. I'm gonna let y'all see it in real time. And I know a lot of y'all gonna go hide and watch what happened to one person on that team. Y'all don't see they setting this one man up and he gonna be out the league. But hit the link in the description. Find me on X, Instagram, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. I'm everywhere. Hit the link in the description. Say find me everywhere. Peace.